Okay, today I'm going to try to show how I went about repairing the acoustic clarifiers in my 38690. These clarifiers came in many of the high-end sets in the 3738 era Philco. They were supposed to dampen vibrations at certain frequencies in the cabinets. They're just a speaker cone with, originally had a rubber that went from terminal to terminal into the center of the cone. Over the years, the rubber has deteriorated, drooping down, many times missing or broken. And if these things ever did work to any degree, they sure don't now. And they don't look good either. So I'm going to try to make these look better and maybe function like they were supposed to. But what I'm using, first you have to get in there and you have to dig out all the remainder of the rubber that was in there. And it's a pretty tedious little task. You have to get under there with a little knife and a little screwdriver like this, and you got to just dig it out. Same thing under the one on the cone. And this one you got to be really careful not to put side pressure on this, move around. I mean, you got to get in there with an X-Acto knife or whatever and clean it out until the little washers are loose on here. They should move up and down and back and forth freely like these do. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a bracelet. This you can buy them all over eBay. It's the bracelets like this that people have printed up with different causes like cancer, just any cause they have imprinted on here. Well, these are just plain ones and they're brown. Got brown because that's what their original rubbers look like. They probably weren't brown originally, but who knows what color they were. But they look brown after all these years. So what you do, you take a piece of this rubber, cut it out, and cut it about the length between the outsides of the two outside rivets. If you can see what I'm talking about, the length is the distance between the outside of the two rivets. You take that and you punch a hole in the middle of this radius on each end after you cut it to length. Just come back about equal distance from the end and equal distance from the sides and punch a hole big enough to accommodate that little rivet, which is probably 1/8 inch in diameter or something like that. So then if we get the holes punched, I'll show you how to get it on there. I can't do it all at one time. I don't have two hands, but I'm put the camera down and I'm going to punch the holes. Okay, there you have it. What I done, I just come back, like I say, equal distance from the ends and the sides, punched a hole, bend it, line the holes up, and make a mark in the center and punch that hole there. I put the hole directly in between those two holes. Doesn't matter about from the ends, just from the two holes. Okay, now to put it on, this is the tedious part, and you have to be very careful, like I say, not to put a side load or pull up on that speaker cone. So to do that, what I've got is a very special tool called needle nose pliers. These have a little bend on the end. It makes it real handy to be able to do it. But basically what I'm going to do is this. Starting with the center hole, put the needle nose pliers through it and spread it. Spread it wide enough to where it can slip on like a buttonhole onto this, over this washer. Now you might break a couple of these till you kind of get the hang of it, but you can spread it wide enough to where you can slide it over the side of that rivet and then get a little tool like this little screwdriver, a little machinist screwdriver, and work it over the side if you need to. But again, be very careful messing with this this center one, because that's hooked to the cone, and these cones are brittle. In fact, if I were you, after or either before, in here, I would put some rubber cement or something around where that's glued together, and on the outside out here to reinforce it, not just for this but for use. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to have to stop the camera to do that, and I'll be right back.